What's up everyone, it's Blue here at Bluebears Games, and today's video will be my upgrade guide for the Lost Caverns of Ixalan Blood Rites Commander Precon. Before I get to today's video, I want to first take a moment to let you know that if you'd like to help support my channel, you can do so in the following ways. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, share any of my content on your socials so other people can discover it, and or watch some of my many other videos yourself. In addition to that, if you're interested in ways that you can help support my channel monetarily, please read the description of this video, and there you will find a myriad of options for what you can do to help me keep this channel going. Anything that you can do to help is greatly appreciated, and I thank you for it. Now with that out of the way, let's begin. So I've done enough of these guides that by now you should know the deal, but just in case you don't, here's how I do them. I'll start by showing you the cards that I would recommend removing first, and then I'll show you the cards that I would add back in that I believe will help make this deck either more fun to play a little better, or best case scenario, both. This precon was pretty well put together right out of the box, and has most of the things that you'd want in a commander deck with this theme. So, this guide will basically just be small upgrades to existing cards for the most part. The most obvious thing that you can do is change the commander to Edgar Markov, since he is easily the best creature in the game to helm a vampire-themed deck. Hell, you wouldn't even need to add anything that adds red mana to your mana pool to the deck, because you wouldn't even need to cast Edgar for him to make an impact. But I'm not going to recommend this because damn, is he monetarily expensive. Instead, I'm just going to keep the commander as is and go from there. However, there are multiple options in Orzhov colors that you could choose from to helm this deck instead, and it would play pretty much the same and eliminate that weird demon thing that Clavileño has going on. Regardless of what you do, it won't change what I'm about to show you, so let's get to it and I'll show you what I would take out first. I would remove 1 Plains, 1 Swamp, Temple of Silence, Temple of the False God, Orzhov Signet, Master of Dark Rites, Dusk Legion Zealot, Bloodline Necromancer, Champion of Dusk, Timothar Baron of Bats, Martyr of Dusk, Bartolome Presidio, Village Rites, Pact of the Serpent, and Promise of Aclazotz. That's 15 cards in total that I would remove, and honestly, outside of a handful of cards, it was hard to even get that many. I did get there though, and what I'm about to show you to replace them with will be obvious small upgrades that should help make this deck better, so let's get to it. I'll start by showing you 2 lands that should help 2 different aspects of the build. First up is a land called High Market. It's both a sack outlet and a way to gain life, which helps advance the small gain and drain aristocrat style subtheme. The second land is called Castle Locktwain. This doesn't help advance a single theme, but instead helps you draw cards, which is needed in every deck and technically helps advance all the themes. The life gain in this deck should easily offset any of the health that you lose from this card. Next, I want to show you 1 mana artifact that could be surprisingly good in this build, called Strixhaven Stadium. I know that 3 mana value rocks aren't usually the best, but this one has an interesting win con attached to it that fits the combat-based strategies nicely. That is technically the main win con of this deck after all, so why not give it a shot? Moving on to the creatures, there are 6 that I believe will be just pure upgrades. The first 3 that I want to show you are quite similar to each other. They are Vampire of the Dire Moon, Gifted Aetherborn, and Vampire Nighthawk. All 3 of these creatures have Death Touch and Lifelink, and also all 3 of them are some of the most efficiently costed vampires in the game. One even has flying, which is a nice bonus. The 4th creature is called Bloodline Keeper, which also transforms into Lord of Lineage. This creates flying vampire tokens, and when transformed, is also a lord for your vampires to the tune of a +2/+2 buff rather than the normal +1/+1. The 5th creature that I want to show you is called Edgar Charmed Groom, which transforms into Edgar Markov's Coffin. This version of Edgar is a lord that in temporary death, it can create life-linking vampire creature tokens for you while it quote-unquote regenerates. And the sixth and final creature for this section is called Cliffhaven Vampire. This creature will help both the combat strategy and the gain and drain aristocrat strategy at the same time, and is one of my favorite vampires in the game. Now I have one instant to recommend, and it is called Stroke of Midnight. I felt that the deck was kind of a little light on removal, and this is a really good one. Honestly, I'd actually recommend adding more removal that's like this one, if you can find the room. Up next are enchantments, and there are two that I want to show you. The first is a card called Legion's Landing, which transforms into a land called Adonto the First Fort. The enchantment part of this card is okay, but it's the land that it transforms into that you want here. As the land, it creates life-linking vampire creature tokens, which help advance both the combat strategy and the gain and drain strategy. The other enchantment is called Necropotence. Let's be honest, card draw is king in any format of Magic, and this is one of the best cards for that in the game. Again, I will remind you that the life loss is easily offset by the fact that this deck has a life gain subtheme. And the last two cards that I'll recommend before showing you a combo are both Planeswalkers that really fit this deck's theme to a T. The first Planeswalker is Sorin Imperious Bloodlord. This Sorin does not have an ultimate, but in its place is one of the more devastating minus loyalty abilities that's not an ultimate in the game. Imagine with me for a moment, if you will, being able to drop your most expensive vampire as early as turn 1, assuming you get the right opening hand. That's what this Planeswalker can do. The other Planeswalker is another Sorin called Sorin Grim Nemesis. It's not the best version of Sorin out there, but all three loyalty abilities are extremely relevant to this build. Finally, we come to the easiest layup of a combo section I've done to date. I mean, they included Exquisite Blood in the box, so just adding one of like 20 other cards gives you what I like to call Baby's First Combo, also known as the Blood Bond combo. Just to make it a little more interesting, instead of suggesting Sanguine Bond, which is the most commonly used card for this combo, I'll tell you to add Vito Thorn of the Dusk Rose. It's a more fitting version of the effect that completes the combo because it also advances the combat and gain and drain strategies, but the truth is, you can add any card that has a similar effect if you prefer. In fact, I actually did that just earlier by suggesting to add Cliffhaven Vampire. Did you happen to catch that by chance? If for some reason you don't actually know how this combo works, just check the link that just popped up at the top of your screen right now, and it will explain how it works perfectly. And there you have it, folks, my upgrade guide for the Lost Caverns of Ixalan Blood Rites Commander Precon. While everything that I just showed you might not make this precon a top tier deck, it will help make it better. Like I said in the unboxing, this is another solid precon from WotC. If you're looking for a deck to just jump right into the format, this is a great one to start with. The upgrades that I just went over will add some speed and consistency to the deck that, while not necessarily needed, will make this deck much more enjoyable for you to play. Well folks, that's all I've got for you today. Thanks for watching, and if you're looking for more content to watch, please browse my playlists as I'm sure you'll find more of my videos that you'll enjoy. Before you go, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when I release new content. Have a nice day, and I hope to see you real soon.